speaking of getting better, it's been, over the last few seasons, the one that just really stands out going back to the bubble, where Donovan Mitchell really just kind of had an explosive postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Jamal Murray, same thing. I'd argue that was Jamal Murray's coming out party. Just had a really, really, I think those two had 50 in the same game, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Just incredible postseasons. We saw what Ja Morant did in his first postseason, and we used to, as Kings fans and media people, we used to beg, like, you guys aren't seeing DeAaron Fox. Like, DeAaron Fox desperately needs that stage. He needs that playoff stage to show everyone how truly great he is. I just named 3 players he's often compared to, who all grew by leaps and bounds in postseason appearances. There were all of these what ifs about the Warriors, these what ifs about the Kings, these what ifs about this series. I haven't heard one person ask the question, what if DeAaron takes that step some of his contemporaries took? What if, like, we saw Ja, and I don't remember the exact number, but I think we saw Ja elevate his scoring average by like 6 or 7 points in that playoff run.
In that Jazz series, yeah.
No one's asked, what if DeAaron Fox takes that same jump that Ja Morant took, that Donovan Mitchell took, that Jamal Murray took, that all of these guys we compare him against? What if he takes that leap in this series against Golden State? Because it's possible.
Well, I mean,
we've begged for this stage for him for years, and now he has it.
I think the biggest thing, I hate being such a downer when I say this, he could do that and they could still lose a series.
He could, yeah, sure.
Yeah, like I expect him to be excellent in the series because I don't think they have anyone that can stop him, and he's going to have to extend himself on the defensive end so far that he's uncomfortable, and he's going to have to play out of his mind. But that's what this is about.
But I'll piggyback off that and say, sure, it's absolutely possible. I don't think it happens though, because if DeAaron elevates this postseason and they lose, that means someone, almost certainly Domantas Sabonis, was bad, and I don't think Domantas Sabonis has been bad in a Kings uniform.
Yeah, but there's a world where Domantas Sabonis and DeAaron Fox can be really good, and you can still lose a series. They've been really good all season. There have been plenty of games this season where they've been excellent and still lost a game. So, it's not all the time, but this is a great team. This is a Warriors team that won the championship last year, and they're different. I totally agree, but that doesn't mean that they'll be different tomorrow. They've proven it so many times that when it's time to go, when it's time to play, they know how to find a new level, a new, that other teams can't find. And the other thing about them, they're so incredibly unique. There's so many things that they do that no one else does, whether it's the pace of play or the way that they get open or where they shoot shots from. There's so many things that are hard to game plan against when you're playing the Warriors. And, especially even as a defensive unit, they switch weird. They do all kinds of weird things that people just aren't used to, that other teams don't do. There's no way to emulate what they do because no one else has Steph and Clay. Even like the Portland Trailblazers with CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard, they could never emulate what the Warriors do because they're missing some other ingredient besides those two. And they still, even as good as they were, they're still not as good as Steph and Clay. And so I don't know, this should be a great series. That's what I'm looking for. I don't know who's going to win this series, but it's going to be fun.
Well, I do think that's a great point that you bring up, Dame, about, he can take this whole thing to another level, that we haven't even seen before. And what does that do for his status in the league? What does that do for him moving forward? We see all the time, and we see it with Ja Morant. I think it had a lot to do with his performance in the playoffs, elevated him to the point where he felt like he was Teflon the next year. And I'm just talking about on the basketball court, not in real life. But he felt like he couldn't be stopped. And DeAaron already has some of that in him. But if he were to go out and show and prove against the defending world champs and, have a series where he averaged 30 points a game or something like that, that could that type of momentum could move into what he's able to do moving forward in his career into next season. So it could have huge implications, you know, the way he performs in this series.
Yeah. I think he could be a launching pad for him for sure. Also, you can change the way that people around the league think of you. Like, we shouldn't just automatically think that Donovan Mitchell is a better player than DeAaron Fox. And I would say 90-something% of NBA fans believe that. Let's see what he does on this stage. Like, prove that this is who you are and where you're going, and that you can do this multiple times. But like, they're in the same draft. One of them was a 5th pick. One was the 12th or 13th pick. Like, Donovan's Mitchell's
really good though.
He is.
I'd argue like Donovan. I don't think it's a stretch to say Donovan might be coming off his best season ever.
Oh yeah, I think so. I don't know what the numbers look like, but this year I think it's his best season.
Remember him last year with the Jazz though, where in crunch time in the playoffs, it was just like it was over. Like,
I think he wanted it to be.
He was stuck with this.
Yeah, but
with this guy that's just
like, let's get this
losing ball player.
It's what he's strange. He looked like what Anthony Edwards looked like the other night. We'll see what Ant-Man looks like tonight.
Yeah.